What's up,
How's it going,
Steve
sir?
Jones?
Good to see you.
How are you, mate?
I'm good.
What's going on, buddy? Opie.
Yes.
Vic Henley.
How are you, man? I'm Vic. Nice to meet you.
How are you, man?
I like that leather hat. That's a good look.
You're happening. What's going on? Nice to meet you. Come on in.
Where am I sitting back?
Right here.
You sit right there.
The smoking pot in here.
Yeah. I'm holding.
It was
I
just
ain't gonna lie
open.
to you. I'm
He
holding.
just had a container of weed open. You are correct.
Yeah, I'm a bad influence. Goddamn it.
Not smoking. He just opened up the container.
No, just to tease us with it.
Yeah.
Just to show us,
That's a little, yeah.
his good fortune.
I think, but you're clean,
Yeah.
Steve Jones, for a long time now,
Yeah, I
huh?
can still sniff it out though.
I could still smell
Like
it.
a hound. He
But
knew
the
right
pot,
away.
not even the pot. You're clean, zip, nothing, not even.
Not even cigarettes anymore.
Nice.
Oh, congratulations
I'm
on
a
that.
bore.
Wait, how long?
That's why you wrote the book, because you had nothing to say.
Yeah.
How long sober now?
26 years.
Wow.
I was going to say 26. By the way, I read your book there, Steve Jones. The whole thing. You wrote quite a book. I liked it.
Thank you.
Liked it a lot. It's called Lonely Boy. Actually, I listened to it. I listened to books on audible.com.
Mine's on audio.
Yeah, that's how it's on my phone.
Oh, you got it?
I downloaded it, and I should say I listened to it.
With my sexy voice.
Yes. You
That
did
was
a
gonna be
very
my
good job.
question.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say. Who did?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
who reads
great.
it?
No, he did a
Actually,
very
yeah,
good job
nice.
at the reading.
Nice.
Some of these guys that read their own book,
It's rough.
it's a little.
I
It's
had
a
the
little
Flavor
messy.
Flav book, yeah, on audio. It wasn't good.
It's a little messy.
Flavor Flav was stumbling through sentences. I think he fell asleep at one point.
I don't want to call out anyone in particular, but there's a few that they're obviously big stars because no one was brave enough to say maybe you should do that paragraph again. Where do we begin with Steve Jones?
It's hard work doing an audio.
Yeah,
Really
Yeah.
hard. It took me forever. I thought I'd just waltz through it.
right.
Man, it took me like 60 hours.
That makes sense because the file was 9 hours and change.
Was it?
Oh yeah.
How many hours at a time would you
I was
go in?
good. I was good for about 2 hours and I started like seeing things.
Yeah.
Right.
Really, and I went insane.
Yeah, but you kept your energy up through the whole thing because that you'll notice too later in these Audible books.
Right.
They start tailing off. They're tired. They want to go home. So
So you started the Sex Pistols.
Hell
and
yeah.
Doing an audio book almost made you insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You know, starting the Sex Pistols, that was a long time ago. But,
Right.
you know, I'm 61 now. I was 19, 18 when that all started.
Right.
Are we on the air?
Yeah.
what do you think we're doing? You
I
do
don't know.
radio, don't
Everybody always asks us
so
that when they
relaxed,
come in
though. It's
here.
so relaxing,
That is
yeah.
the number one comment that
Actually-
everybody says when they walk in.
No,
here.
I mean, I'm the same. I have a show in LA.
you?
I've
Jonesy's Jukebox.
Been, yeah, I've been doing that a long time, and it's loose too. And everyone starts swearing. It's so loose.
Right.
You can do that here.
Well, but I'm on terrestrial, so
No, you're on satellite,
now.
so you can.
no. When
Oh
I'm in
yeah,
LA,
yeah. You're on KLOS.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He does a very good show, and I'm a big fan of your Instagram, Mr.
Oh,
Jones.
thanks.
You just seem like you have a really good time with that.
I have a good time with myself. Yeah.
He's usually in his bathtub, in his bathroom.
Bubbles? A lot of bubbles in there?
Painting,
There's,
maybe.
there's bubbles at times. There's a guitar involved. There's like
Ah.
spacesuits sometimes, all sorts of costumes.
Yeah.
And he sings some ditties for everybody.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good way to be creative on.
Right.
If you're a creative person, Instagram is so good for that because you just do it I just do it with an iPhone and a tripod and
Yeah.
some costumes, and you just get creative, and
Right.
it's a good outlet.
He was running through a field with just his underwear on and hits an outhouse. Then he plays a character where he's like a record executive.
In
Yeah.
a tub?
Oh yeah, just screaming. Screaming.
I do my American New York accent in that
Yes,
one.
you do. What's the character's name again? I forget.
Soul.
Yeah, Saul. Right. You could have easily been on vinyl
Yeah.
with that easily.
Yeah.
So
What I thought about afterwards, after I'd done it, which is always the way, I kind of rush into doing these videos. I don't give it enough time.
Yeah.
But afterwards, I thought it'd been great if a chick would have come up
Oh,
out
I
of
don't
the
know
bed.
what
At the tail end, yes.
You know what I mean?
she's got to hold her breath for the minute, though. You get a
Who
minute on
cares? Who
Instagram.
cares?
I think it's funny if a dude
You could
comes out
find
with
one.
like a
You
bow
could
tie.
find one. That is somebody's got that special skill at the bottom of their resume.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
I think it's funny if just some butler came out of the water.
Either anything
And then go back
anything
in.
out of the bubbles would be good. I'm on board for that visual.
So how's
But
the
I'm
book?
with him. It's always when you're done that you think of the killer add-on.
Yeah, of course. Well, there you go. There,
Oh,
there he's on the
good.
toilet.
There you go.
Oh, you got the little steppy steps. What you?
I got
Squatty-
that.
squatty
the squatty
potty.
The
potty.
squatty potty.
I got the squatty potty.
Everybody fucking sings its praises.
It makes no difference though to me.
Really?
It comes out. If I'm legs around the back of my head, it still comes out.
I'm kind of with you. I haven't used mine in years.
Really?
It's still in the bathroom though.
It
Fits-
kind of gets in the way, right?
Yeah, it fits around the base of the toilet. I
Yeah.
just kind of push it. Looks like an accessory for the toilet, I guess. I don't know.
You got to go higher. You got to go the handicap where you don't have to sit down as far.
Yeah,
you get the 18, 19 inchers.
Ah, we'll all get.
It's not. You don't even feel like you barely sit down. It's just as good. I'm telling you.
Why, you got one in your house?
I know elderly people that I visit.
Well, we're all going to get there eventually. I don't want to handicap.
Nothing like shit at
toilet
grandma's
yet.
house.
That's right.
Right.
Very comfortable. It's the opposite of that. That looks like a yoga pose that went wrong.
Yeah, and the other one that's becoming all the rage is the Toto one, but it has the heated seat and it goes up electrically.
Right.
And it has the water that squirts up your ass.
Yeah.
After you've gone.
Right. Have you tried that?
No, I haven't. I don't know.
Good
It
for
seems-
you, Steve
it's
Jones.
A lot of work. You know what I mean? A lot of work.
Then it's just moist back there.
It's a lot.
Supposedly it dries
It dries
for
it
you, too,
afterwards too.
It sprays the front too, don't it? Can it spray the front and the back?
It does it all.
Nice.
If it was a human tongue, I'd be into it.
There you go. Okay. Why are you looking around to see if that was okay?
She's
Why
my
are you
manager.
looking around?
I don't know. She's heard it all before, but I just find it funny when I say things
He's not
like
allowed to talk anything. Where
I can do
there's-
what I want.
I was going to say. you
Yeah,
can't-
don't worry about her.
Yeah,
Get up, shut up, you over there.
he doesn't get a lot of satellite radio interviews, so he can let it fly.
Let it go.
How's the book tour going in general? Are you
It's
getting
good.
sick of it?
It's hard work. I'm getting pushed around like a cheap whore
Right.
to every place in town, but it's it pays off. It sells books, and I'll be done tomorrow.
good.
I'm doing a book signing tonight at
Book review in Huntington.
and then tomorrow New Jersey
Right.
at the place, and then I'm done. Then I'll go back to LA
Right.
over Friday and start back on my radio show Monday.
And they're giving you the time off? I know how they could be in radio there.
Now they're
Steve
good. 'Cause
Jones.
I keep plugging them, so it's good.
All right, good.
You know,
Anything super weird somebody showed up with you to sign out of the ordinary?
you know,
Tits.
you know, you get them guys.
A baby.
You get the guys with the albums,
Yeah.
with the eBay and the thing.
But it's like somewhere. Has there been one thing where you're like, where the fuck did you get this? I didn't know this existed. Is there?
Nothing too outrageous.
Okay.
No. But
There's no Sex Pistols board game that there were like 9 of them or something weird.
no, but that's a great idea.
Thumbs up from the manager.
I did an episode of Nevermind the Buzzcocks once on the BBC,
Right.
and years later, and I did one. I'm not famous. I'm an idiot comedian, just like him.
Yeah.
I did one too.
And yeah, exactly. and someone, goddamn, 15 years later showed up, and I'm like, I never knew there was a Buzzcocks
Yeah.
board game.
Yeah.
Or much less when you want me fucking signing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You didn't really leave anything out of this book, Steve Jones.
Yeah, it's pretty
Pretty brave.
Okay.
waltz and
Real
all.
brave. Well, I'm assuming he didn't leave anything out.
So the book is about the whole, like the beginning, the whole.
It's more about his life.
Right.
It's 3 periods. It's me when I was born to the Sex Pistols,
Right.
Sex Pistols, and then after the Sex Pistols. It's like 3 parts, really.
Are you your only child or something? Or?
I'm the only child.
I felt that. I felt the vibe on
Yeah.
you. Felt it.
You want to feel the vibe. He had a rough childhood.
Being the only child is like is a bad and good thing at the same time. It's like being a rock star with 2 fans.
Yeah.
Well, Sherrod, it's okay until the mom gets a new boyfriend.
Oh, did he hit you?
No, he molested me.
Jesus. I guess that's the worst hit of all.
Only once, but it was enough to spin me out,
Out of control.
How old were you?
10.
Fuck.
And then the mom, Steve Jones' mom, stays with the dude. For how long?
She didn't know. In her defense, I don't think she
No, I
knew
should say
about
that,
it.
right.
She didn't know about it, but she wasn't the best mum. She was kind of cold, not very nurturing. I was, I got in the way, to be true. My mum and my real dad, they were teddy boys, which was like,
Right.
rockabilly types.
Sure.
And they met and had me, and my mum kept me, and he split. And then you know what it's like when single mums have a child. A lot of dudes that ain't interested,
Right.
so you kind of make do
Right.
with whatever you get, and she made do with this horrible person. You know?
Fuck.
And how long were they together? I think he died
Forever until he died in around 2007, 2008.
So that made it tough to have a relationship with your mom because you didn't want to tell her what happened. Obviously,
I sent him a letter once, and it came back full of denial. You know,
So it was read.
supposedly.
Okay.
You know, I don't know the truth, but it's all good, man. I mean, you know, like I said, there's a positive to that. It made me angry.
Right.
It made me drive more to get out of the shithole I was living in and to get away with that. And it really did have a lot to do with me wanting to start a band, an angry band like the Sex Pistols.
So are you trying to tell the kids out there if they want to start a band?
Get molested.
Can I jot that down? Let me jot that down so I won't forget
And the publicist's eyes roll again. I just noticed.
The manager.
There'll be some twitching by the end of the interview.
But you got to use it as fuel. You use it as
Of
fuel.
course.
You got to.
Or
Yeah.
it will destroy you.
Yeah.
Do you ever get over that happening to you?
Well, I think the hardest thing that I getting over is the fact that my mum didn't really want to have a kid. That was I think that was more than me getting fiddled by him.
Right.
Right.
You know, because I just can't have relationships. I'm only attracted, and I know you've heard this a million times, to birds who don't want me. Yeah. You know, as soon as I get the ones who want me, I'm done.
Right.
You know, and and that is a hard chain to break.
Right.
You know, it don't matter how hard I try. So I don't bother now. I'm 61. I've just resigned to being by myself, and I have a decent life. You know. On the other hand, there's a lot of people who get married who have divorces and have kids, and it's a mess.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm making do with what I've got.
Yeah. You were never married, and your relationship with your mom was just.
Yeah, I haven't spoke to her
Right.
for a long time.
What I also found fascinating in the book was you don't really go back to England. You wanted out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck those red coats, right?
Yeah, them bleeding limes.
Bleeding limes.
By the way,
Ask him what he thinks about the Queen. There's a whole song about that one.
I didn't even go back for my book.
oh really?
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
No
Wow.
kidding.
I just don't like going there. It's a long way. I
Yeah,
hate
but you
jet
can sell a
lag.
lot of
It's
books
probably
over there.
doing well over there.
It's already.
So you don't even need to.
Well, I'm sure it will help, but it's doing good there.
Right.
But I just hate going back there.
Right.
Is it the distance or is it just the vibe you get when you get
It's
back?
a few things. It's the distance. It's a lot of people I don't want to see come out
Yeah.
of the woodwork. It just depresses me. You know, growing up there, looking back on it, you know, I was in a kind of funk for many years, and it just when I go back there, it just reminds me of being in that funk, and it's changed a lot as well. It ain't like what I remember as a kid. It's very crowded and expensive, and
And there was also a local pedo that might have, you know.
there's a lot of them everywhere.
Well, over there?
Well, he had a.
I had a little thing with a Peter.
It's part two.
Another one?
Yes.
He was just a sexy little boy, huh?
I guess I gave off that energy.
Good looking.
It's the hunger.
It was the local pedo, and then mom's new boyfriend. That's unbelievable.
So the local pedal was first?
No, well, it's funny. It's a weird story. When I was really young, when I was living with my nan, when I was at a good relationship, my nan was very nurturing. It was all normal. It was me, my nan, my mum, and my granddad living in, and my mum's sister. We were all living in this flat, a nice flat. It was all loving, and I moved out when I was 6 with the horrible guy, and that's when it all changed. But prior to that, there was this guy when I was playing with all the kids down in the square in the block, and he would get a dirty magazine and break off pieces of paper, and he'd lure me out. He'd lure me away, and I would go after looking at these pictures at 6 years old of naked women, you know.
It's like Hansel and Gretel, but with porn.
With porn.
And he got me kind of far away, but then we went under this underpass, and he was like, I remember seeing him down the other end, and I just thought, like, this ain't right. you know, and I had normal common sense at that point.
Yeah.
So I just left and went back, and then after that, you know, a few years later, after the thing with the stepfather, who do I run into?
Oh,
The paedophile.
right.
He's around again, and what did he do? He gave me some money and he sucked me off.
Wow.
He wasn't very good.
The suck off?
That's what he meant.
That's
yes.
a that's
But
a,
Teethy.
it was all
Petty's a teethy.
it was all twisted at that point, you know.
Right.
I was confused. I'm not gay, but it completely confused me about everything. The thing the stepfather did. They have no idea what damage they're doing to
Yeah.
kids. It's so fucking selfish.
I don't think they care.
No, they don't.
What the when you talk about that in the book, and you know, there's a good moment where it's obvious you got the power back and got to see like your mom's boyfriend and realize that he's just a feeble old
Just
man now.
pathetic. Yeah.
Because I'm sure for many years you're looking at this guy like, you
He's
know,
a monster, like
yeah, he's a monster that could hurt me at any time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but that led him to leaving the house at an early age. The Sex Pistols started when you were 18, 19.
Yeah, around there.
Can you explain the stealing? Do you still like to steal?
Now,
Dude, this book is great. I mean, he doesn't hold back.
What you steal? You stole everything?
everything that wasn't nailed down.
That's my kind of
Respect that.
thief. Yes, absolutely.
But he's in bands and they need equipment.
Of
so
course.
he would walk in
Yes.
and make believe he's a roadie and just
Fine.
grab whatever the hell he wanted from the stage.
Why not?
It's kind of brilliant, actually, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of brilliant.
If you go in like you belong and you
Yeah.
have a job, they'll just like you
You
both
start
out.
throwing shit over your
After
shoulder.
you white,
rolling
you got an
cable.
accent, you're gonna let 'em walk out
here
with
we
it.
go.
But he would steal from bands he was a fan of.
Didn't matter. Didn't matter.
No mercy.
Now that's
Who's the biggest man you might have stole something from?
I guess there was many that's not even in the book. 'Cause
Well,
it just gets boring after a while.
But
Oh, I didn't
come
find it boring
on,
at all.
Somebody, give me one or
No,
two.
David Bowie.
Okay.
It doesn't get much bigger than that.
Come on, somebody else. One more.
Roxy Music.
Roxy Music.
Okay. And you like them, I thought. Weren't
I
you?
like all of them.
it seems like you like their stuff more.
Yeah. What did you like more, Roxy Music or their amps?
It was
That's
good.
incredible.
It was good.
What'd you steal from Bowie? Do you remember?
It was his last farewell tour when they were the Spiders from Mars
Right.
at Hammersmith Odeon, and I was like 15, 16, and they did their first
so
night.
good.
They did the first night. They left all the gear set up, and this place, it was the Hammersmith Odeon, which is now the Hammersmith Apollo. It's still there, bands still play there, but I knew this place like the back of my hand. And I was like the Phantom of Hammersmith Odeon. I was getting the rafters, in the rafters, everywhere.
Did you have a mask?
I had a cloak of invisibility. So they left a roadie on like the 5th row, and I just waited till he fell asleep.
Yeah.
And he was snoring, and I snuck on there with some wire cutters. Got a load of these beautiful Neumann mics. I got the drummer's cymbals, the bass player's head, and I got Bowie's. I wish I still had this. Bowie's microphone, like this little Electro voice, but it had his lipstick on the end of it.
Oh, that could have bought my mother a house.
Where did that go?
Right.
I have no idea.
No idea.
No kidding.
But you get off on stealing, or it did.
I
when,
did.
when you were growing up.
Yeah.
Did you connect it to sex or
I connected to just filling a hole.
feeling all?
It wasn't
feeling
even
all-
really about getting stuff. I mean, like it was more about having somewhere to go
right.
every day. It was a mission I had to be on. I couldn't sit still, and it was well, I was self-medicating is what I was doing
Right.
in order to deal with the stepdad thing. You know.
What, drinking and drugging back then?
Well, that came next.
Okay.
After the stealing when I was a teenager, and let's not leave out. I used to like peeping Tommy too.
You just like
Oh.
peeping Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You're like voyeur.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I-
me too, you freaky
yeah,
bitch.
most
I
of
love
us
you.
like that. when you come upon something like that, you're stopping and watching.
Oh, I peek. Even if I hear it, I'm a voyeur even when it comes to ears. I'm in a hotel and I hear moaning.
Oh.
Everything's down.
And you
I
put-
turn the lights down. I'm like, I can't even hear over the lights.
You got to get ready, and then you put the glass up against, right?
Yes.
You go glass?
I go
You gotta
glass.
go glass against the wall.
I like hearing and seeing things I shouldn't.
Is that a bad thing to be into peeping Tom?
Well, I used to go into these buildings and try to watch girls have baths and have a shit and all that. One time,
Two ends of the spectrum there, by the way.
Don't look at her. That means this is the good stuff.
He keeps turning
No
around.
offense to you. This is the good stuff. Don't
is
look at
gold.
her. Right.
I mean, even the I was so embarrassed once. It's in the book that I was peeping Tom in, and someone must have called the cops. The cops showed up, and I quickly put it away and made out I was breaking in the house
Oh God.
because I didn't want. I was too embarrassed.
To be out there jerking off, so you pretending like you were stealing.
Right.
I was breaking in the
Regular
place, yeah.
criminal than be peeping Tom.
He's like, no, I'm
Yeah,
an
no,
arsonist.
just a thing. Right,
Light matches.
exactly. Right. I was going to murder the bitch.
That is too hilarious.
But that's the distinction, I guess, with peeping Tom. I mean, you can't be,
I mean, everyone's a peeping Tom now
Yeah.
on the internet. you know?
Yes.
Right.
It's our whole culture. Everything is built around it.
Right.
You can see the first ladies for the first time in American history. Hearing about, we have a first lady that you can be a peeping Tom.
Yeah,
I don't believe this
yeah.
ever existed.
And see her nudes.
Anything.
But you can't trespass, is what I'm getting at.
Well,
No.
that's
That's where that maybe is where you're crossing the line a little bit.
go into public toilets and look over the wall.
That's what
You
they
would do
get
that?
Yeah,
Just out of the blue.
with one hand.
Focused.
And they say Ringling Brothers is closed.
And drill the holes. You drilled
What?
some holes,
I
right?
didn't drill the holes. There was always a lot of hills already drilled.
Yeah.
in a lot of toilets. I wasn't the only one doing this, obviously.
Right. Man.
Wow. You have to pick the hole that's right for you.
Do you? So you're sober, but do you still steal from time to time?
No,
How
no.
long has that been?
About 30 years since I
Oh,
last
okay.
stole.
Do you remember the last thing you stole and you were like, I'm done?
No, I mean the kleptomaniac stopped kind of round the Pistols time, but I still did a little bit of stuff here and there, but totally everything, like 30 years ago.
Ever get caught?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What, really? Like what's something bad? Like get to go to jail? Caught? Come
Oh
with
yeah.
me, please.
Yeah. Most of it was all juvenile stuff though.
Oh, okay.
But I went away for a year and a half in this one place.
Shit.
Was in another couple of places, boys' homes, and
What's that like in England? It's supposed to be just brutal over
Isn't
here.
that sexy as we think it is?
I-
All those boys crammed in a mansion.
Running around Hogwarts, learning wizardry.
I think it's worse here in the penitentiaries. I think.
Yeah.
I,
Oh, yeah.
I actually watched a documentary on that when I first came to the States, and it caught my attention.
Yeah. But yeah, the early days of the Sex Pistols, they needed some equipment, and Steve Jones, made sure they were well equipped.
I'm sure that's not the first man that nicked some stuff.
Right.
Now,
To go all English with my vernacular.
I'm sure Bowie stole something.
I've
like
read
Iman.
I've read over the
From her
years.
native
From my
land.
people.
I was gonna hear.
I've read over the years, and that's certainly in the book. You guys didn't really get along in general, huh?
No, not
Here we go.
No, not really. I mean, it was. It doesn't matter. It's a band, You're not really. You don't have to get along. A lot of bands don't get along. You get along at first before you're known. You're kind of like a little team.
Yeah.
But then, then as soon as you get a bit of success, it all starts going to pot. Everyone's egos, gets involved. It seems the common theme, whether it's the Beach Boys,
Absolutely.
Sex Pistols, it's all the same shit.
The Stones.
It's all the same shit.
Everly
man.
Brothers.
All
Yeah.
the same. All the same.
Run DMC.
But
I just
you-
wanted to add
right?
something.
But you guys
Sure.
understand you're strong as a unit, and it's a business, so you kind of like coexist.
Yeah.
We've had Johnny Rotten in here a couple times. I can't figure him out.
How was it? When was the last time?
Probably a year ago.
Was he doing his book?
Yeah. I don't know. Does he like to have fun ever?
I think it's.
He-
I think that he acts when he's in public with because he's very insecure. I think it's all driven from that fear and insecurity.
Every once in a while, we would get a little smile starting in the corner of his mouth, and then you could see him just shutting it down.
Yeah.
And putting up this like wall.
Yeah, he can't let go of the past, you know.
A friend of mine ran into him somewhere. It was like at a ski resort at a bar, and he didn't know who he was. So he talked to him for like an hour and a half, and then later on he realized that's who he was talking to. Since he didn't know it was him, he said he couldn't have been more lovely. It was really sweet. Is that possible?
It's
maybe
possible.
Yeah, something like that.
It's totally possible. You say the wrong word, it can turn on a dime.
In a second.
Yeah, my buddy totally had no idea, and he thinks later on when my other friends were reminding him, "Hey, Jack asked you know who you were talking to," and he said, "Well, he couldn't have been friendlier for somebody named Rotten."
What in the past do you think he can't let go of? What's in the past that he's holding on to?
I just think he has to act a certain way. You can't just let it all go, you know, and just try and enjoy yourself. I mean, I don't want to say what he is and what he ain't. That's how I perceive it, you know.
Right.
You know, we're 60. I'm 61. He's 60.
Right.
What's the point of acting like a 20-year-old, like a child?
I agree.
It seems stupid.
Right.
You don't want to be the last old dude up in the club.
We
don't
come
want
in we come in here and do it and get it out of our system,
Of course.
and then go back to the regular world and try to act.
Yeah, he's not making Instagram videos like Steve Jones. And
He's not having
a
any
good
fun.
old time. No,
He's not. He's not. in
You're
the
on
club.
high alert. You know, at any second he could just completely snap.
Yeah.
I got that vibe.
Really?
Yeah, immediately.
Well, that's what he just said, yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
But
Like-
it's really hard to figure out, though. I couldn't figure out where he was coming from. I don't know if it was like fake anger or a persona, or I don't know. I don't know what it was. We had him on twice. It was the same thing.
I think
Both times.
he's more worried that he's going to look stupid. You're going to make him look stupid, so he don't let you make him look stupid.
Right.
You
I
know?
tell you, who's not afraid to look stupid. You worked with Russell Brand. That guy, he doesn't care one bit.
No,
He's
he
just
don't care.
silly and fun and amazing. Or
Yeah, he's fun.
I like Russell Brand.
Me too.
what was that like?
Working with him.
Yeah.
It was short-lived on FX. I was like his one-man band. And
Yeah.
The trouble with Russell is he's really intelligent bloke.
Yeah.
He really is intelligent, but he's not a good interviewer. He'll ask someone a question, he don't even let them finish. You know, and then he's on to something else. He gets more hype, and his voice goes up, and to me, it just gets a bit dull after a while.
Right.
That's what Katy Perry said.
What was your relationship
She
with?
told you that.
Word for word.
What was your relationship with Sid?
I didn't really know Sid. I liked him. I thought he was a fun guy. You know,
Right.
he just he wasn't equipped for what was going on. Got thrown in the deep end.
He left his mark, and it was a groupie from America,
From New York.
from New York, Nancy.
What about her?
Sid and Nancy.
Yeah,
Watch
yeah.
that
Who
movie.
he had
dude.
sex
Chelsea.
with.
You had
Watch the
sex with which
movie.
one, Sid or Nancy?
Sid. I mean,
Got him! Exclusive. Make the video. Get it out.
It's the one time he didn't turn around and check to see if it was okay.
yeah, no, she wasn't a good vibes. There was dark energy
Really?
with her, and it was all about heroin. You know, that whole scene. I hadn't discovered heroin at this time. Well, I hadn't got involved in it anyway.
Yeah.
And that was a dark period. And I don't know what that relationship was all about. There's obviously some pact that they had. I think they both said they want to kill themselves.
How old were they?
Oh, young,
young,
21. He was the
21,
youngest.
Tops?
He was the
21?
youngest. Sid, yeah.
Did you ever see the film, the Oldman? Gary
Yeah,
Oldman?
yeah.
It's great. It's a wonderful film. Yeah.
I've interviewed him a few times as well, Gary Oldman, and he said prior to doing that, he hadn't ever done any films. He just done plays where he never made any money, and he didn't want to do it. He said the only reason he did it because he got offered a lot of money for his standards.
Right.
That's why he did it.
Wow.
People are asking the name of the book, so I think we're doing our job. It's Steve Jones' Lonely Boy, Tales from a Sex Pistol.
Did you ever think you'd be 61? You can't, like when you was 19, 22.
It seemed ancient.
Right. It seemed like
People who are 30 seemed ancient when you're 21, you know. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm still here. I shouldn't be here. And I hate being cliched, but, you know, I shouldn't be here. When I was like a kid, before drugs and all that, I used to get in weird situations. I should have ended up in the back of some van and been doing bondage films, you know what I mean?
That's low budget. That's extremely low budget.
And disappear. It
Right.
happens all the time. And I was always by myself. I never had any parental guidance, or
Crazy.
no one was looking out for me.
Sure. These first bands, I remember when Mick Jagger turned 40, they're like, he's over the hill, it's over.
Yeah.
30, how many years later? They're still
30 years later.
trying to do it.
And that last blues record doesn't suck by a long shot. That's
I
some
liked
damn
it.
great. That's some good shit on there. Absolutely.
Speaking of music, I get the feeling from the book that you were hoping maybe the band would have been a little different than just a punk band. And I was very sorry. It's like a two-parter or adding to this. And your influences were very interesting to me. It was Bowie. It was Roxy Music. It was, I wrote it down here, Rod Stewart and Faces, both. When Rod Stewart wasn't with Faces and when he was with Faces. And the New York Dolls. So.
Yeah, and the Stooges.
And the Stooges. Yeah. But Roxy Music, I was surprised to hear. Really? Especially. And David Bowie.
Well, their first two albums.
Wow.
When I was 14, that was what was going around. And there's a lot of guys like me, they were all into the glam rock. You know, there was kind of two kinds of like glam rock. There was bands like Bowie, Mark Bolan, Roxy Music,
right,
and the Faces. And there was a lot of shit glam rock too. And they were like the more intellectual glam, if you will, better songwriting. And there was some stupid ones too that were terrible, but
yeah,
and I knew the difference. You know, I liked what I liked. They were more stylish Roxy Music. The first Roxy Music, if you listen to it, it's very kind of punky.
I think after reading this book, I want to go deeper with Roxy Music. I don't know much
first
about
two
Roxy.
albums.
Yeah,
First two albums.
Exactly.
And because Vic was telling me in England, Roxy Music was huge.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
They
very
only-
revered. Yeah, sorry, Steve.
They only really started making it here when they had that song More Than This,
Right.
Avalon, when
And
it was all
Avalon,
mellow and
right.
chicks liked it, you know. But
Yeah, that's all I really know. I can't
Slave
front.
to Love and out. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
right. But but there's some real good early.
I might have to go on YouTube later tonight and check out some Roxy
Yeah.
Music. But were you hoping the band would have done a little differently as far as maybe moving out of the punk?
No, I mean, the reason that it sounded the way it did was lack of technability, you know. I mean,
Right.
I'd only been playing a few months.
Right.
So that I was limited for
Yeah.
what I could do. And Rotten's never sung before, and he sounded the way he sounded.
Right.
And I think, lyrics are fantastic.
Right.
Fantastic lyrics from a young guy to write them words, Anarchy in the UK and God Save the Queen. And all the other songs, they were really intelligent lyrics.
Yeah.
And the power underneath it just kind of, that's what it was. I just thought we were in a rock band.
Right.
You know, I mean, the tempos are like rock tempos. It's not like too crazy fast and all
Sure.
that stuff. You know, I thought we were kind of just another rock band.
Right. And did you guys start the spitting?
It supposedly started from John. He always says that he had like meningitis
Yeah.
or something. That he's always singing, coughing, and spitting from singing. You know,
Right.
I guess some kids saw it and thought that was what you had to do.
Right. But didn't someone get hepatitis or get sick from
Joe
that
Strummer supposedly got sick from it.
at a Sex Pistols show?
No, in the Clash. He.
No, I know it's for the Clash. But,
Oh,
didn't he opened his mouth and got,
a big one went in there.
yeah.
Was somebody spit right in his mouth?
Yeah, who spit in his mouth, I guess.
Just a fan. Just
Oh, it was a fan. Okay, I misunderstood
That's a
that in the
fan?
book.
they,
Who's an
There's
enemy?
a whole thing going
No, because
on.
the fans started thinking, "Oh, this is what
This
you
is the
want."
thing you want.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spit on you while you're singing.
Yeah.
And then he opened his mouth and he got a loogie in there and supposedly got pretty damn sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
But everyone used to do it.
concert is this?
It's funny, sometimes I used to see some concerts a bit later on. The guys would come out and literally it was like a hail of arrows being
We'll fight in the
Loogie.
shade.
Yeah.
300 of them.
Spears of phlegm.
Yeah.
We'll fight in the shade.
And how long was the run at first? Like 3 years?
About that, yeah.
And then you guys got back together many years later for a tour.
1996 was
Right.
the first time.
And it didn't seem to go too well.
Well, it was a long tour. We did like 100 shows.
Right.
It was,
Damn.
It was about a year, and we were sick of each other.
Yeah, you
by
didn't
the end of
ease back in.
It was the first time I actually made some dough, though.
Oh, really?
So that was a good thing.
Actually, yes. In the book, I'm thinking Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols. After the Sex Pistols, I'm thinking, he's got enough money to live. You didn't really, you had no money.
Not from the beginning, no.
Wow.
And we only have one album.
Right.
You know, it's not like we was living off 10 albums,
Right.
publishing and all that stuff.
And why did you decide to move to LA? Out of all places.
I just kind of drifted out now, and I left London with another band after the Sex Pistols, a band called The Professionals.
Right.
And we drifted out doing clubs. I was kicking dope, and I was always getting drunk and doing blow. We got to New York. The guy who was our bodyguard wanted to beat me up.
Just for good measure, or to coach to straighten
No,
you up?
because he was in his own cirrhosis doing blow and paranoid, and it was just, it was a mess. And I said, I'm not going back to England. I'll see you later.
That was it.
And I didn't go back. I sold my passport, and
You sold your passport?
I didn't have any money, and I hooked up with a lady of the night who was a junkie, and I lived with her for a little while. Then met,
Holy shit!
And her name was Steve Jones too.
no, and met.
Sorry.
And met another chick later who was a kind of a social butterfly, and me and her lived together for a little bit, and then drifted out to LA, and I've been there ever since.
Pretty amazing.
Wow.
I only bought a house relatively recently, considering, right?
Yeah.
Finally settled down a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. After that one big tour, I had made enough dough to, get a down payment on a place.
I every time I haven't been in LA, not as much as I used to, I guess is what I should say. But every time I was out there, I would search out you on the radio. This guy knows how to do radio. Well, what did you always love? Radio or broadcasters, or like, how did that come about?
It was a real fluke. I was driving down in my car, flicking the channels, and all of a sudden I come across this one channel, and they were playing punk music, and there was no commercials. I didn't realize at the time they just started, and of course there was no commercials. Yeah. But I'm like, this is cool. And 2 weeks after that, so I was hip to the station. This guy called me up and says, "Listen, there's this new station. Can you do some IDs for it? Because we call it punk music. Be good having your name. Hi, this is Steve Jones. You're listening to blah, blah." Before I got to that, I said, I want to be a DJ. And they were like, I said, yeah, please, can I be a DJ? I had nothing going on. And the two guys who were kind of running it at the time, this was like right at the bottom. Nothing was happening with this station. It was a Spanish station. They just tried doing a different thing.
Right, yeah.
And they said, okay, yeah, come and do an hour a day, 5 days a week. And I said, just let me do what I want to do and play what I want to play. They're like, all right. They didn't care because there was nothing riding on it.
They had nothing to lose.
There was no ratings. There was nothing.
We're talking about Indie 103.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, I was buffooning around. I had no idea what I was doing, but people seemed to like it, you know. And I got better at my buffoonery after a while. And that went on for like 5 years, and it became a cool thing. Everyone used to love that station.
Absolutely.
Wow. It's a tiny little signal,
right?
But people dug it,
right?
And it kind of the station dissolved in 2008.
Why did it dissolve?
I don't know. I think there was, the big crash. I think it might have had something to do with it.
Oh, sure.
It was costing too much money to run it. It would have been, and they just flipped it back to another Spanish station with no people there.
Right.
People were bummed, man. A lot of people were bummed.
And then, did you take time off before you went to KLOS?
Yeah, I took a little, few months hiatus.
Yeah.
I went to K-Rock for 2 years, just on a Sunday night. But it's no good. No one listens to the radio on a Sunday night anymore.
Right.
And then that ended, and then I got a phone call a year ago from the lady who was the GM at Indie, who worked at. She keeps taking me wherever she goes.
Nice.
And now she's my biggest fan, Dawn DeRocco. She's a sweetheart, and she's got me in there over there. And same thing, doing what I want, playing what I want, saying what I want.
It's a blessing.
And he is beloved. Everyone does this show.
I love him already.
That's where I was going to go. Is there anybody super big that you were just thrilled to get, and anybody super big that you hadn't gotten yet?
Well, Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins filled in for me yesterday.
You son of a bitch.
Not only did
you watch Sonic Highways, by the way?
Yeah.
Which was outstanding.
Yeah, that's big names.
Yeah. There they are.
What the fuck?
That was a week ago when I was there, and that was the day my book came out. They came on to support me.
Fuck, that's pretty cool.
And what he did yesterday, he did the whole 2 hours in my accent, like he was making out he was junkie.
No,
he just went ahead and went with it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's good.
That's cool as shit.
Now, saying that, now anybody that you hadn't gotten yet?
Johnny Depp, he came on.
Who are you looking for? Who's your dream get so far? Who hadn't done it?
Sherrod. Man, I'm available.
Johnny Depp just shows up. How cool is that, man?
Did he have weed on him?
I don't know. But I have a lot of guests. A lot of people want to come on there because it's fun. It's loose. You know, it's like your deal. It's just loose.
Right.
You know, and you're not feel pressured to.
You're hugging a goat in one of those pictures? What was that?
But unfortunately,
was there a goat?
Steve, I got to play the other side of that. There's so many people in management that will not.
Right.
They'll hire personalities and then tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And not let them do what they're capable of doing. So we're kind of lucky that we get to just shoot the shit like this.
Yeah, and play music I want to play, like deep cuts or new bands I play to.
Right.
It's fun. I couldn't do it any other way. It'd be pointless.
Yeah.
Just talking in amongst someone else's playlist.
So are you Instagramming on this book tour?
I haven't done anything. The last thing I did was it.
Hug a donkey?
Seth
Little burro.
Meyers.
Looked like a burro.
I went on his show 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Right.
That was good. And the donkey.
Yeah, what was that about?
That was in Aspen a few days ago.
A miniature donkey, right? Is that a...
It was
is
a
it
female.
a burro or is it just a little
female.
donkey then?
Juanita, I think her name is. No, seriously, that's what they
she's
call
Spanish.
her.
That's good.
Juanita.
Yeah.
My sweet Juanita.
She was such a sweet animal.
Yeah.
Just come over and just wanted to cuddle you.
Oh.
She's trying to get on the show.
She is. Right now.
Mission accomplished.
So would you Facebook Live? Is that what you do? What do you do as far as cameras?
I usually, we got cameras running all the time, and then we'll throw some stuff on YouTube every day.
Yeah.
And then after the show, we'll do a little Facebook Live,
Yeah.
And then I Instagram Live a little bit right before the show.
Yeah.
As we're setting up and, just shooting the shit, saying hi to everybody that's coming in for the day.
How many hours you do?
Quick 3 now, man.
Yeah.
It's easy. This is a piece of cake.
So
In and out.
good.
Right, so.
5 days a week?
Sometimes.
I've been around a while,
Not really.
so I got a nice cushy gig.
He owns like 12 homes. Seriously, there's 12 homes. If you count the guest houses on the 4 main properties, it's actually 12 homes.
Let's just put it this way. I might have taken a little too much time off in the summer. I don't think I was here in August. And they started noticing for the first time, like, where have you been? I'm like, what, man? I'm enjoying the summer.
The outhouse at the one down in Charleston, South Carolina is a former slave cabin.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
I wouldn't say former.
Well, okay.
I stay there sometimes when I go down.
I knew he renovated it for you.
Right.
Now, when was the first time you performed like outside of England?
The first time outside of England was we went to Paris on my 21st birthday.
Oh, shit. What happened?
Well, Malcolm McLaren bought me some heroin and got me a hooker.
Is that not lyrics to your next song? That should be
Which
lyrics.
is pointless because when you do dope, you're not interested in sex, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely not heroin.
And it was the first time I did it, actually, and I threw up, and I didn't like it at that point.
But it didn't stop you from continuing.
No,
for a while.
not yeah. I mean, I didn't get into it right then. I really only got into it after the band broke up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How was that performance too? Performing in Paris that first time.
It was a bizarre show. It was great, actually. We played at this weird disco, and there was a lot of people were into it.
Right.
It's the first time I've ever been on a plane. It was a big day, for me.
Wow.
Are you from London? You're from...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
West London.
No, whereabouts?
Hammersmith.
All right. Who's your football team?
Chelsea.
There you go.
Oh, you knew right away. Chelsea.
There were other choices I was thinking of, but I figured he was going to
Did he pick a good one?
Did he pick a good one? Yeah.
Now, when you go back, did you go back for a Chelsea game?
Oh yeah.
There we go. That'll bring him home.
That would. If I did go back, if I had to go back, and it was in season, I'd be there in every game I could.
Right. Got to just make sure the pedo's gone.
Yeah.
He can beat the shit out the pedos now.
Now, man.
Right. You took the power back, right, Steve Jones?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah.
Sounds like it to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of people out there that had to deal with that shit.
There's always
most people.
Every town has a few of them, man.
Yeah, every family has a few of them.
Yeah.
Sadly.
It's more common than you know.
Oh, we all know now because of the app. You put
Yeah.
your address in and you see all the dots
the
in your
picture.
neighborhood. You're like, what the fuck?
I don't even fuck with it. Definitely in New York, they in your building.
Right.
You can't not.
But it's worse when it comes from where you live. That's what's worse.
Yeah.
Because you don't feel safe.
At home.
Yeah. If
It's a bad feeling, man. That's some selfish shit to do to a kid.
Right.
What a way to end this interview.
Exactly. Very uplifting. Everybody go home and watch Spotlight again. In case we haven't been sad enough. Just go ahead, watch the Meryl Streep one where Philip Seymour Hoffman, then go into Spotlight.
Is that Doubt? What is that?
Yeah, Doubt, thank you. And then just close it off.
Shit.
What's the one about the laundries over in Ireland? That one's also god-awful. The Magdalene sisters. Let's just go for that trifecta of, child slavery and pedophilia if you really want to.
The next Kurt Cobain is out there.
What?
We learned from Steve Jones.
Yeah.
That's what got him into the band.
All right.
What about that? Yeah. Did you see that documentary a little while ago? The kid that was the first kid on the milk carton.
Oh, well, it's about it's the dude, John Walsh's son, Adam. He started.
Oh, Adam, yeah.
I am Adam. My name is Adam.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And he got taken off to a sex slave thing, right?
His head he got decapitated.
Yeah,
John Washington.
Yeah.
Supposedly they killed. He got killed a mere block or two away from where he was abducted.
Yeah,
a paper round. He had a paper round, right? We talking about the same one?
I'm not really sure.
America's Most Wanted.
There's one
guy?
who took Johnny.
The guy that started.
That's the kid. That's it. That's the documentary.
Oh, that's a different one. Yeah,
this is different.
Yes,
that is a great documentary.
Gotta watch
And
this.
his mother's in it, trying to find the. It's definitely worth watching.
Should we drop Dear Zachary on him?
God, no.
If you want
Don't
to see
ever
the most
see Dear
horrific,
Zachary.
awful.
Dear Zachary.
It's a documentary called Dear Zachary that'll just
Forget he said that.
You're gonna cry.
Forget he
gruesome.
said that.
It's awful.
It sounds awful.
It's brutal.
It's wonderfully done.
It's a good
but
watch,
just,
though. They
God
made it, but
almighty.
it's heavy.
Yes.
You're not gonna. I don't know if you
Right.
can
Change your
see
life.
a heavier
Yeah.
documentary than Dear Zachary.
Is it on
Atlas is
Netflix?
juggling a Nerf ball.
It's on Netflix still, right? It's
It's
I
out there.
think it is.
Yeah, I think
probably.
it is.
We brought a guitar in here. Can you play anything on the way out? Maybe an Instagram type of deal?
Sure, I
Do we have
can.
any
okay.
costumes?
What do you want to hear? I'll play it. Oh, him?
Sherrod.
Oh, she's saying yes.
Sherrod's going to play.
Yeah! Yes!
Because I became, when I was doing research for this interview and reading the book, I became an instant fan of your Instagram. It's called Jonesy's Jukebox, I believe, right?
Yeah.
You got to go there. It's some weird shit, though, man.
I gotta watch. Really?
Yes, it's weird.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
You sing?
No, I'm just black.
Rap then.
I definitely can't rap. I'm not that black. I'm right in the middle of those two. I'm R&B and hip hop.
I'm out of here. It's time to go. So here I go to Long Island.
Huntington.
That's awesome. That's beautiful,
bad,
man. The book review.
gorgeous.
The book review in Huntington. That's my hometown, Steve Jones. Enjoy Huntington. Yeah, it's a great bookstore too.
Oh, cool.
I think you're
Mariah
gonna-
Carey's from there as well.
Yeah.
If you whisper her name, sometimes she appears.
And where's the book signing tomorrow in Jersey?
Bookends.
Oh, I got it.
Is it Bookends?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should do this for you. Yeah, Bookends, Ridgewood, New Jersey tomorrow.
Nice.
At 7 o'clock. Book review tonight on Long Island and Huntington. And then Book Soup in West Hollywood later this month, January 28th.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Steve Jones.
Definitely.
You wrote a very good book, very open. I appreciate that. Because a lot of celebrities that write books, man, they leave everything out.
They hold back.
Oh, it stinks.
The phony balonies.
Right.
There's a picture of him as a little kid with a monkey on his head, and he wrote, "He's enjoying eating the head lice off of me." It's one of the funniest things. That's how far along I've gotten. I've gotten till the middle. And I just flipped over and saw that page, and he's like, "This monkey's really enjoying a free snack off the lice on my head."
Nice.
That's hilarious.
And a lot of pictures, too.
Oh,
That's what I
A
mean.
lot
It's
of
in there.
pictures.
Yeah, it's totally. It's, yeah.
So-
I gotta get that book.
Yeah, I'm about halfway in. That's about how far I got to the picture.
BOC. Don't fear the Reaper.
Yeah.
Smoke
Right.
the reefer.
Unsmoke the reefer.
He just had it out earlier.
Yep.
Oh, one other thing really fast. The Who. Who are you? Really about you or the whole band?
No, it's just about me and Cookie.
Isn't that cool?
We met him one night out at a club, and he was really drunk.
Pete Townsend, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he'd been at it all day. He was, business meetings all day, and I guess he just started drinking. It was one of them ones where he just got tied one on, and we met him in a nightclub, and he was talking to everyone who kind of bumped him. Who the fuck are you? Who are you? That's all he kept saying all night.
Right.
And then he run into me and Cookie, and he like came to and just started picking our brains for about 2 hours. He sobered up because he was hip to the Sex Pistols, and we're kind of from the same area, Shepherd's Bush, Hammersmith. And then he actually said later that song was based on meeting us.
One of their greatest songs, right?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't get much bigger than that. It won't get fooled again.
Who the
and-
fuck are you?
Who the fuck are you, though? That's strong.
Let's all sing the chorus. I don't know how it goes, but
Yeah, right.
Are
Yes, it's
you?
Who are you?
Remix.
I woke up in a store.
All right, Steve Jones. Lonely
So much
Boy is the name of the
fun.
book. It truly is a great listen in my case, and it certainly will be a good read.
I'm gonna stay at your house when I come to Cali.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Fool around,
I decided that.
do some
hang
singing in the
out.
bathtub.
Yeah, I bring Carl. We do some cooking.
Check out his Instagram for real. What?
I have to.
It's Jonesy's
Jonesy's
Jukebox,
Jukebox.
right? On Instagram. Let's get him some followers today, although he's got plenty. But it's a good one to follow.
It's been a
for
pleasure,
real.
man.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice to meet you, man.
Really.
Thanks for doing the
Thank
show.
you.
Absolute pleasure.
We're going to take a
Appreciate it.
quick
Thanks for
break.
coming
We'll be
in. I
back.
appreciate
Thank you
it.
to Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols.
Thank you.